Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. I thought today we'd do a painting. It's very simple. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's start out and have them run all the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with us. While they're doing that, let me show you what I got up here today. I have my plain old 18 by 24 inch double prime pre-stretched canvas, and I've just covered it with a very thin coat of liquid white. That's basically all. We use 18 by 24 inch canvas, but you use any size that you like when you're doing yours. I thought I'd start with just a little 2-inch brush today. I'm going to tap a little bit of Indian yellow into it. Don't need a lot of color. Something about like so. Let's go up in here, and maybe right here we'll do that. That's all there is to it. Okay, got that one finished. It's that easy. I'm going to go into a little bit of cad yellow. Same way. Just use a little 2-inch brush. We don't have to even do anything. Just go around the edges. Without cleaning it, I'm going to touch a little bit of yellow ochre. There. Just working the yellows out here. A little more of the yellow ochre. Come right on around. Something about like that. If you put 2 eyes and a big smiley face in there, it'd look like little Orphan Annie. There we are. Okay. Sort of blend those together. And that's all we're looking for today. Something about like that. Still, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to touch a little bit of the alizarin crimson. Don't need a whole bunch. And just begin blending that together. I want to make a sky that looks like maybe the sun's here and it's shining out and it's a beautiful day. We'll do this painting mostly in brown tones. Sometimes it's gorgeous to do paintings in just one tone. There we are. All right, now then I want to mix up a color. I like brown made from sap green and alizarin crimson. That's one of my favorite colors. There we are. And I'm going to mix it a little bit to the reddish side. Just a small amount. Normally we don't worry about mixing color too well. Today I want to mix this pretty good because I don't want any green streaks up in the sky. Okay, that ought to do it. Wipe the old knife. It will go right into that brown that we made there. And we can go up in here, and let's begin using that. See it? It sort of matches all this. It sort of works together. It's really a gorgeous brown. All right, and some on the other side. Just right in there. And then we'll finish the canvas up. We'll just use a little Van Dyke brown. A little bit on the other side. And we're ready to wash the old brush. As you know, if you've painted with me before, that's really the fun part of this whole procedure. It's just washing the brush. This is the way I get even with everybody here in the studio that picks on me. All right. You can certainly change the decor of a room very rapidly if you're not careful. I suggest when you do this at home, you get a little device called a brush beater rack that fits down the bottom of a waste paper basket. It allows you to do all this without ruining a happy marriage, because you can certainly do that in a heartbeat if you cover the living room with paint. I'm just blending all these colors together, like so. All right, then I'm going to wash the brush again. I'm really just looking for excuses to wash the brush. There we are. Now then, I want to brighten that a little more. So I'll go right into titanium white. We'll just put a little on the 2-inch brush. Go right up in here, start in the lightest area and begin working outward. We want this to be the lightest, brightest part of this whole painting, right here. There, and just begin blending that outward. Now you can do this several times to achieve a desired lightness. You can make it as light or as bright as you want. But once you get out here in these dark colors, I suggest that you clean the brush before you bring it back into the center. There we go. Something about like so. Once again, you can make it as light as you want it when you do your painting. Or leave it as dark as you want. It's really an individual thing. Now, very lightly. I just want to take out the brush strokes. Now then, if you want to put the indication, knock off the excess paint, If you want to put the indication of a little sun, we can do a little finger painting right there. And just take your finger and make a little round sun. Those square suns sort of bother people. Make it sort of round. Of course, then you have to clean your finger, and you beat it against the easel the same way. All right. And just barely caress it. And the indication of a little sun will remain right there in your sky. That easy. See there? That's all you need. Okay, let's have some fun. We're still using the same old brush, a little white, a little bit of that brown color that we made out of the sap and the alizarin mixed together. Maybe in our world, way back in the distance, there's some little foothills that live back here. So let's do that. All you have to do is decide where they live in your world and begin tapping them in. You know, when you paint, tell little stories. It makes painting easier. It makes you understand why things work in your painting. Shoot, sometimes I get carried away and maybe talk about the old trapper that lived in the woods, maybe fell in the river, just crazy things like that. But it gives you a reason for an old abandoned cabin being there or something like that. But make up little stories. I know, you're going to say your friends and relatives will sort of laugh at you, stand around talking to yourself, painting, but that's okay. That's okay. Now that I'm going to lift gently upward just to make it look like little trees are growing on those hills far away. Short little strokes, tiny little strokes. There, just a little bit. Don't need a lot. Just a little bit. There we are. Maybe I'll even take a little of the titanium white. I'll put the least little touch of Indian yellow in it. And just here and there, touch a little bit so it just stands out a little. You can lighten it up a little. There, lift upward. But that's all I'm looking for. Just enough to make it stand out like the light's zinging across there. There, that's all we want. Okay. Now, well, you'll use this little number 3 fan brush. Take a little white, a little more of that brown. I want it to be a little bit darker than what we have up there, but not a great deal yet. All right, let's go up in here. Maybe there's a little stand of trees that live right here. Little group of trees. Happy little family of trees right there. I don't know. You decide. In your world, you put trees wherever you want them, as many as you want. There, see? And we can come back with our old 2-inch brush and we just tap a little bit. That easy. And create a whole nother plane in our world. I'm going to lift up, sort of bring it together, make it work. That's all there is to it. And back to our white with a little bit of the Indian yellow in it. And we can begin just showing some little dooders that climb up the hill like this. This will just show different planes in your hill. And that's all we're trying to do. Something about like that. Lift it up. There. And maybe over in here it just sort of disappears. We don't know where it goes. Don't know that we even care. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to cover all this up with that nice brown we made. There. As I say, I want this painting to have a sort of a brown flavor to it. I love this color. And I like paintings that are almost monochromatic. Just one basic color. All right. I tell you what, sometimes you have to get a little crazy. Let's take a little bit of that white and get a little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife there. Let's go up in here. And maybe we'll just make the indication just by doing this. That's all you have to do. Just like this. Just enough so that it separates. And we can begin putting little things like that. And if you just rub that very hard and keep it pretty level, when this is all done, it'll look like, well, watch, it'll look like there's maybe a little river back here somewhere. But it's far away. We don't want a lot of detail in it. Far, far away. Just something like that. And we'll come along and we'll put something in the foreground. but maybe there's some little rapids back here that it's slowly running over.